Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, I just had like another one of those false starts with like the whole blocking again. Apparently, when I get like a new email message and it starts to vibrate, and then when it vibrates, it kind of falls off the monitor when I try to do this. So usually I just set it on the monitor there, so I can probably not have to. Not have to like hold it in my hand all the time as far as when I do these sort of video blogs. So, anyways, although it took me like a while to do like a whole video blog as far as to do like the whole Memorial Day thing, as far as how I was talking about all the stuff that was going on Memorial Day weekend, but I don't really have a whole lot to talk about there. Although, except for whatever I had done, of course, prior to the weekend that had started, to tell the truth. I didn't really do a whole lot. But, as I could say, is that Memorial Day, there's always been this sort of tradition around here that where I live, it was before this whole shopping center was built. It was just an empty lot, and nothing really happened for the entire time that they had that empty lot. And it wasn't until like Memorial Day that they would have this traveling carnival coming around there with their whole stuff, and but they don't really go there anymore after the whole place, after that whole street corner was already built up into a shopping center. They were pushed out into the street, and I think after that, they had to decide not to do it anymore. Although they could have at least set their whole shop in the parking lot of the shopping center, or the parking lot of the ziggurat, But other than that, I think they just prefer being out in an empty lot just like that, But although I could say it's just that Dad, and maybe to some extent that Mom was always been a little bit distrustful as far as towards the carnies, as far as all the little things that they were doing, But then usually we would wait until like the whole Orange County Fair comes into town, and it's usually like right around July and August, And then after that, they would have the whole LA County Fair. And I don't know when they usually have the Ventura County Fair or the San Bernardino County Fair, although San Diego County Fair is usually there like before the Orange County Fair. But I don't know if they still have the fairground there, even though they were going to try to sell it, but I think it's probably going to still be there. But although I would say that I did have a lot of fun memories as far as being in the Orange County Fair when it was there, but then a couple times they would have also they would have this science fair that they would have like around I think it was like around April or May. I don't really remember exactly when they usually have it on. It was kind of like right around just before Memorial Day, or just a little bit after Easter. I don't really recall, but it was usually they would have all the schools there. I've only gone there maybe about at least 2 or 3 times now, but I think that was only because of I just didn't know how to make my teacher know that I was like worthy of going to that sort of thing. it was might have been at least 2 or 3 times or at least once or twice where I didn't go, and I think I was just being a little bit tough. I don't know, a little bit more than upset with them, I guess. But I think when I was kind of a little bit younger, I just kind of believed that I was entitled to do these sort of things like that, and rather than just having it earned, but although I guess I could say it was just like I said on like a lot of the video blogs before, that as far as with the authority figures, it was kind of like they felt that their respect and admiration was entitled to them rather than it was earned, just like everybody else, just like how their respect for me was like earned, as well as their respect for, as well as my respect for them was earned, So, anyways, the other thing that I was gonna mention a little bit was about I forgot. Oh, great. Having a little bit of a brain fart, but although I'm pretty much done with all talking about the whole drama with Drew and all of that, but as I kind of said, I think this sort of thing with him was bound to happen at some point, bound to have some sort of little slip up like that, whether if it was him not being that emotionally ready for that kind of stuff, and yet, even though he probably had a lot of indication of wanting to take things further with me, that sort of thing, but it's kind of funny now. It's kind of funny now that I could probably, that now I pretty much already said what I needed to say at this point, and now it's kind of like he's not really saying anything to me, at least just not yet. But as far as I could tell goes, is that as soon as I start like leaving him alone for like a really longer period of time, instead of having these like 2 or 3 week breaks in between, of contacting him and all that kind of stuff, and once I've kind of stopped the whole pattern of it, and then break the whole pattern, and then finally kind of not talk to him for like a considerable while, then he starts to get all panicky and starts missing me, and then he's just gonna throw himself on me like he did last year. How he kind of threw himself on me, No, not entirely like I was saying that. It was just almost like around that time last year, that like around May. It was around November after I kind of left him alone for at least 3 or 4 months. Although I did have a little bit of breaks between here and there, and then when I finally kind of got around and said that I was better off, and it started to, I think maybe a word that probably might have got around to him, that he probably just kind of ran right back, although I didn't necessarily have to go right back to him, I could have also continued things on with Tim, there, but not that Tim was bad or anything, but he was pretty good as far as that goes. I still talked to him from time to time. It was just simply him being a little bit busy with everything. And then I kind of gone to his place twice, and played around with him, but although I think it was just the only thing that kept me from getting any further with him was simply because of work. I mean, that was kind of the case. I mean, he was kind of a little bit of a workaholic, and I think I would probably encounter a lot of them that are probably going to be workaholics to some degree, but not that I ever should ever really blame them for being a workaholic, but believe me, sometimes I think I have to kind of at least be a little bit more mindful of all their comings and goings, But the thing is with some guys is that they have a hard time trying to kind of at least express that some ways because it's probably a societal thing of having to keep all your emotions at bay and have a stiff upper lip, that sort of thing, which is kind of a little bit silly, if you ask me. Plus, it was always been the case with like women there that they always are being a little bit hypocrites as far as with the straight man, that they want them to be a man, but at the same time also want them to be in tune to their emotions and or at least somewhere there, but they had to. I mean, if they wanted some guy somewhere in between, then they're kind of just thinking it's just somebody that's more in between what they're looking for, are pretty much ones that are not anywhere near what they're looking for, i.e., meaning that the guys that they really strive for are the ones that are gay, the ones that are a little bit at least be manly enough in some aspects, but at the same time be in tune to their emotions, And that's kind of the case there, but God, I think I'm just having a runny nose again. But believe me, I'm like at that one point about wanting to, not that I wanted to like move on from Druid at this point, and I've probably already had stated so many times before that this is just simply a victim of, that I'm just simply being a victim of bad timing on my half to want to go things further with him. Sometimes I think I kind of wonder if these sort of little things like that are always put there on purpose for me to overcome such obstacles. I mean, I've already had said that maybe on here at least once or twice before, as far as, even though I hadn't really uploaded the entire video about that, but I was going around saying things like about how I believe these sort of things had been placed on there on purpose, so as some sort of obstacle for me to overcome to get what I wanted out of it. And I think it was just a matter of me having this sort of perseverance and mental fortitude to actually overcome that sort of thing, rather than just whining and complaining as I've always done in the past about these sort of little things, and that I probably should have worked my way to get to what it is that I wanted. Whether it was the whole problems of adult transition at the time, them not seeing what potential I have, or the fact that they were just didn't know what to do with me and probably had some other idea that wasn't really exactly what I wanted, as far as to make a long story short. It is probably like the case with Josh or Eloy, at the time while I was living in Irving, that maybe I had at least put a whole lot of effort into trying to stand up to Mom in a way about that kind of stuff, but not to go completely crush mom. You know, not that I ever really wanted to go around and crush mom or crush dad in some ways, you know, but it was just one of those little things, I guess, you know. But it was kind of strange how I should probably put the sort of thing there, you know, that as far as with mom and dad, I think it probably took them a whole lot of time to at least learn to accept that I'm no longer a little kid anymore, and I had to start growing up more emotionally. But the thing is, as I kind of said before, is that I hadn't really grown up a whole lot because they never really given me enough slack to do so in the first place. But I think as far as the other stuff that was like with Ricky that kind of got in the way, you know, that I was probably going to attract some unwanted attention from somebody, and that there could have been better ways for me to deal with that unwanted attention, you know. And then as far as with Eloy being jealous, I mean, that was probably his problem. I mean, the thing is with him, he probably had probably expected that maybe he was like the only one that could be good enough for me or whatnot, you know, or that he probably thought that I probably couldn't find anybody better than him, at least physically or mentally or emotionally in some cases, you know. But the thing is with him is just that I can find somebody better, and I've pretty much already proven it to him at least more than one occasion. It was just for him a matter to accept that he had his chance, and he just simply pissed it away, you know. That by going around ignoring me till the very last minute to actually have something with me. That sort of thing. So, it was kind of one of those little things that I had to kind of at least learn to better handle these sort of little obstacles instead of just running around giving up on it when it becomes too much, I guess. You know, because in some ways that with adult transition, you know, that here they were finally making these sort of concessions and sort of things like that, right when I was already planning on leaving adult transition. Right when I was already saying that I had it with them and I was already moving on and all that. And then here they were already finally making these sort of little concessions about allowing me to finally come and go as I please and do whatever jobs or classes that I wanted to take without being told it was too hard or whatnot, simply because they were just understaffed and all that sort of stuff, or simply because I had to prove myself worthy to them and all that. I get so sick and tired of having to prove myself to people. I haven't tried to prove myself to people that I'm a person for I don't know how long. And sometimes I think I've just gotten so tired of it and I just say screw it. You know. But the thing is, I probably should have gotten used to proving myself worthy to somebody like that much because of the whole Asperger's and because of that. And then the fact that not everybody's gonna basically understand what it is, you know, and there are just some people that are just, as I kind of said before, you know, that they're just trapped in their own little world of what it ought to be, rather than accepting the reality of such situations, you know, and that they would still think it's a fake disease of that sort. But I just believe that people that are that way are just ones that either are just simply refuse to accept these sort of things, or just aren't really emotionally ready to accept that. But I think it's just more of a kinder way of saying that they're just not ready to accept these sort of things. There's a difference between all of that, you know. So, anyways, I think that's probably it for now. So, talk to you guys later.